Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. You knew that was false. For anybody who had never heard that before, that question is now planted into them, unqualified representation that Mr. Kohberger stalked one of the witnesses, and that's false. We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122. But we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey guys! How's everyone doing? It's been a minute since we've been live. Just been doing other things, but I've also been FOIA-ing a lot of things, and I got a new answer to something today. So what I was going to go live about tonight, we're going to go live about tomorrow, and tonight's live is going to be a new live because I got a response back about something from the Idaho State Police about 15 minutes ago. So we're going to go over that tonight. Hey there, Carrie. How are you? Hey there, Trisha. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Nola Mom. How are you doing? Yeah, I haven't listened to this one yet. I have no idea. I know that some people are saying that it is throwing off Dylan's timeline, what Kennedy has to say in this interview. But again, I haven't listened to it. So I'll be finding out what you guys are talking about today. Welcome, Angie. Thank you for joining. Hey there, SJ. How are you? Hey, Mandy. From work? Hell yeah, you might as well. It makes it go by faster, doesn't it? Like, it's all I ever do. Like, I have to have something in the background or I can't concentrate. I have to. Hey there, Knowledge. How are you doing? Hey, Becca. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Alice. Hey, P1111. How are you? Hey, Lady Di. Hey, Chris. How are you? Hey, Elizabeth. Nunya. Zatrish. Jackie. Tim. Zach. How are you? How you guys doing? Hey there, Kirsty. Hey, DKM. Taking a walk. I need to take a walk today. It's been so raining. So when it's not raining, because it's Texas and instantly goes from one spectrum to the other, like one side of the spectrum to the other, it goes from rainy and like decent, but you can't do much because it's raining, to not raining anymore, sun's out, but now it's so humid you want to die the second you walk out the door. It's so hard to keep up with the yard work in the summer months. Like, I definitely bit off more than I could chew with this freaking yard. Like, I am not afraid to admit that I definitely overthought what I was capable of. Just me and the kids. Because I'm like this close to actually having somebody come and start doing the yard. It's gotten really bad. And it's so thick. And we have like 25 different types of grass. And like tree stuff everywhere that we have to do it in like sections. So by the time we're finally done with it, it's like time to start over again, just like construction work, you know, on the highway. But then we have like so many months in the wintertime where we don't have to touch it because it just doesn't grow. Like, it literally just stops. So we only have to really deal with it for like a few months. But it's been annoying. But I need to go on a walk. I need to go outside. It's just been really hard because the weather has been horrible. The weather has been so bad. The weather has been bad. The puddles are just now starting to go away. Hey there, Laura. How are you doing? Hey, Annie. Hey, Kylie. How are you? How are you? Hey, Scottish Cat Lady. How are you doing? Hey, Saudade. Cookies do sound good. My son loves pistachio. He's like the only one in the whole family. He'll sit there and eat them. My oldest son. Hey, Virginia, how are you doing? Hey, Legal Swag. Hey, Laura. Hey, Cajun Body Queen. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Danielle. I don't really like the Dubai stuff, guys. I'm glad that I'm not alone. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Hey there, Jenna James. How you doing? How you doing? Probably like 7:15, 7:45, maybe. I don't know. Oh, baseball's fun, though. Baseball's fun, though. Yeah, I put like one or two of the stuff that I FOIA'd in the community posts, but I've been I've been going through like a whole lot of the documents, and instead of just putting it on a list, the list has like 55,000 things on it, because there's always something else that we find out. There's always a little bit more information. Then we get that information, and then there's something else in that we then want to ask more questions about. So there's just like a forever list of things that I want to FOIA. And yesterday I just decided to, as I was coming across them, just file them. So I filed like five or six between the last like day or two. And one of them, did I file this one yesterday? I feel like the one he just answered me about, yeah, he did. So something in the video that I posted yesterday is, I guess, how I'll word this, because I don't want to just like give it away. I'll just like, you'll see the thumbnail when it comes out. But something in the video I posted last night, going back over the expert discovery, where they talk about the 9 different male DNA. Okay, that video that I posted last night. Something in that video I requested, and he already got back to me. Now, I've asked him a separate question based off of his response that he sent me. And depending on his answer, I think I have everything to like show you what they said. But there was like a photo that's referenced in his answer. So I just want to make sure that we have the photo that he's talking about already, or if I need to ask for this photo so that we have all the information. Does that make sense? It'll make sense later. I just need to make sure that we have everything first. Thanks for the 5, Lori. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome. Oh, thank you for being a member for 4 months, Angie. Yeah, an early one. I try to do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays at like 11:45 is what I try to do, but sometimes and usually it just doesn't really work very well. Okay. So this is the interview of Kennedy Fitzgerald. As far as I'm understanding, it was Allie. Like, I feel like this is right, but I always like hesitate. Like, I know that we've discussed this, like who this person is, but I always end up like hesitating when I think this for some reason. And it's probably just because of all of the redactions that we've seen. So when I see the information, I put it like my brain halts it because we've always seen this redacted. But as far as I'm understanding, Kennedy and Allie are the two that are the roommates that live at the house where the other little, I wanted to say like secondary party happened, because this little secondary location was a situation after the Whites and was a situation around the Sigma Chi party time. Like at 2 different points of the day, different people associated with this situation were at this house, is how my brain is putting it all together. So this is only like, what, 8 minutes? 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 40 seconds is all he talked to her. Y'all say that she kind of throws some stuff off. We'll see what she says, because again, I don't know what she says. Oh, at CrimeCon? See, I wouldn't have wasted my time going to CrimeCon. I just wouldn't have. Plus, like, they're all a joke. Like, I know that y'all like see that. It's like, it's a joke. Like, come on. If you really look into like the money and how all that works, they basically finagle free labor out of people to just get a whole bunch of money. And I haven't seen anything that shows like where the money that CrimeCon actually gets goes to. Like, I know they have to like rent the convention center, but a lot of the people that are working the convention center are like paying money to the CrimeCon people to work it, is how like my research went. The whole thing just seems like a big money scam. And then they have the CrimeCon cruise. Like, you're really taking like the importance out of these situations when you make it like a Comic-Con type event, and when you have a cruise dedicated to it. Like, that makes it literally entertainment instead of something that should be taken serious, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now, I did see something about the Goncalveses being on stage at CrimeCon. I did not hear it. I didn't listen to it. I saw it in passing on TikTok. I have no idea where the video is, but my goal is to try to find it. Somebody might have seen it or whatever, but I want to find it and I want to see what they said. Did they get plastered before they were on stage? Did they get plastered after they were off the stage? Because what we saw them do with the Crime Talk guy, they were not sober. They were not sober. As a matter of fact, I want you guys to go back and listen to how they were speaking in the Crime Talk video. And then go listen to the way that they were talking back at their own house is the background, is what it looks like. Back at their own house when they're on Nancy Grace's show, like the next day. There's something going on. There's something going on. Christy is stepping over her words. Steve is stepping over his words. They're they're flushed in the face. Like something's going on. Something's going on. Something's not being hidden anymore, maybe. But now it's just like really noticeable. Like, holy shit. Really noticeable. Make your own minds up on that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think it's poop. I think the whole thing is poop. Yeah, I saw a comment. I'm not going to be entertaining that book. She's if you go and you look up the person, the Christina Mars person or whatever, they're basically someone who is like me and you. Like they're just like independent crime researcher who's putting like their own opinion and stuff out there based on the stuff that's out there. Like it might be somebody who, you know, is asking questions and stuff like that, but I'm also not going to go out and like buy everybody's book and comment on everybody's book that they're writing just because everyone has their own opinion. An expert that worked on the case, somebody who has insight, somebody who's claiming to speak to people inside of the case is one thing, but I'm not seeing anything that says that this has like any inside information to it. And it's also been out for like a long, super time. And I know the only reason why people are talking about it is because a specific YouTube channel suddenly brought it up out of nowhere, but it's been out there for a long time. And I think that if it was credible or worth the crap, I think the community would have heard about it by now. Like I think if you go back, you see the release date's like November 22nd, 2025. Like it's been out for a while. It's just an opinion piece. I mean, I'm not saying not to go buy it. Go support people's, you know, opinion pieces. That's whatever. But it's not like somebody who worked on the case or somebody who I can tell has a connection to anybody from doing my own research a few days ago. But if it's good, let me know. I'm just not going to buy it. I'm just not going to buy it. I looked up the chick and she just looks like she's just somebody like us, which is fine. But nobody that had any like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? In the book? Yeah, let me know. I mean, yeah, if it's good, let me know. Let me know what their thoughts are and stuff. But I am more interested in people that are touching the case. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start listening to this again. I don't know what she says. I just know that several of you guys thought that she kind of messed up Dylan's timeline a bit. Oh, ma'am, don't start moving now. Both the girl cats are over here sleeping on the thing, and Zelda just like stretched out and is now giving Calypso like no space. Give me like 2 seconds to help her real quick before she falls off. Give me 1 second. Okay, they're resituated. Zelda's really big. Like she's really, really long, and then she's really, really big. Like she's double literally everything of Calypso. So as soon as Zelda stretched out, Calypso had 0 space. She had like that much of a corner. Like, yeah, you're gonna plop on all of my wires. Gotta fix the cats. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Asget, I think the Asget Industries, or however her name is, I think she's really, really talented at what she does. Like, I don't think I could ever go in and make computer stuff the way that she does, but I think that everything she's doing is opinion based. Like, obviously she has some factual stuff in there because she's got photos and she's claiming that she's putting like the points and stuff together, but she's got like those arms going at like 1,000 miles a second. It's just not, the way that she's got it isn't very realistic to me. She's talented. I just don't think that what she's presenting is realistic. That's just my opinion, though. Good at what she does, because I couldn't put a presentation like that together. But also the whole thing about like Murphy coming out of the room negates everything. Like off the bat, she's not even keeping to like and I know it's just like Dylan, right? It's just Dylan. I get that. But like right off the bat, she's just kind of like creating something herself instead of keeping to what we actually are told, which even if it's not true, it's what we're told. And we can't just say, oh yeah, we know that Dylan said that the person was with the dog on the second floor and then like heard both of them walk up there. But I'm just going to make up that Murphy was never on the second floor whatsoever and came out of Kaylee's room on his own before anyone came up the stairs. That doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work for me. Just like something that the guy said, which I'm not even going to say it right now because the guy that the custody queens just interviewed, the Chris guy, he said some crazy shit about something too. And I'm just like, huh? But, you know, we'll get to that in another video. We'll get to that in another video. All right, let's go ahead and listen and see what she has to say and see what you guys are talking about when it comes to taking Dylan's timeline out. I know there's still a little bit of discrepancy because at this point we have Dylan claiming that there's like a video or something of Lakeland dancing at this party house at like, I think the time is like 12:49. Don't quote me on the times, okay? I just know that what I'm telling you is correct because the times are backwards to what they're supposed to mean. And Lakeland is claiming that they're already back at 11:22 and she's using the second floor bathroom at 12:43 when she's taking pictures of Ethan's freaking clothes on the bathroom floor, which again, I will always say is freaking weird, you weirdo. You freaking weirdo. You weird. But the times are backwards. And even with like the time zone change, like it still doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess it could, but it really doesn't in my mind. The time zone change is like just throws everything off. What really matters is what the analytics say for the phone data. So what I was originally going to do tonight is go ahead and do chapter 9 because we haven't done anything with the book in like a week and a half or so. Because chapter 9 is like the full on timeline, you know. We'll do this tomorrow, but I'm also going to go in and I'm going to color code highlight all of it, and then I'm either going to take document photo scans or I'm going to put the pages down in the whatchamadoodle on my printer and scan them in so that they're on the screen when we talk about it. So I guess it's probably better that we're going to go live over something different tonight because I haven't even started that yet, you know? Plus I want this timeline. I want this timeline, the one that ISP and MPD worked on together, that this timeline apparently came from, that got sent over to Bill Thompson. I want their official timeline because there's pieces missing. This isn't all of it that's in this book. This is just what he chose to put in there. Remember when he was asked why, he put the information about the text messages to Ethan from Erica about being cheated on, and he was like, oh, it was really just difficult for me. I just went really back and forth with it. No, you didn't. You picked all of the most salacious things that would get people asking questions, and you cherry picked it that way on purpose with your fake bullshit. Okay, now remember, this is only 8 minutes long, so this isn't going to take long. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
So basically what I'm trying to do is, I understanding that you were with that night?
Correct.
Okay, so what can you tell me? When did you first run into or any of the other gals or even Ethan who live in that house?
And we're at my home. They had gotten there, I think, around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and we're there for a few hours before we walked home.
Okay.
They had walked.
So you and were there?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's stupid.
And they showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to, and had come. I'm not sure who she had arrived with.
Okay. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay. And where do you live? What's your actual address?
I live at.
So is that her trying to say that, I mean, look, like I said, I know that people want to be like, oh my God, Dylan's lying. And we know she's lying about things that are important. But when it comes to someone just telling you their memory or their recollection over the phone, I can't take it as gospel, because what really matters is what's in the phone data that shows things. And her saying that she thinks that Dylan got to her house at like 10:30, that doesn't really mean a lot. I mean, it really doesn't really mean too much, because we don't really know. We don't know. What we need is cameras. What we need is the text messages, because I know that there's messages that are in this timeline that show when people are discussing them going over there. What is the time in the timeline that it says they went over there? Like, we really need timestamps from data. Does it even say in here when they went over there? Dylan is calling Xana. What's 2100? Is that like 9 o'clock? I'm not good with military time. Yeah, 9 o'clock. So where it says 2100 in here, according to Bethany, see, this is why this shouldn't even be in here. According to Bethany's interview, they have Maddie leaving Sigma Chi at 9:09 to go and meet Kaylee. But it was like closer to 10, because they left after 10 o'clock. So that's not actually accurate. Dylan calls Maddie at 9:18 for 14 seconds per Dylan's phone records. I'm trying to see if it says in here what time it claims that they went to this party. Like, I want to see the analytics. I don't care what they've said. Bethany calls Claire at 10:08. Dylan gets to Sigma Chi at 10:30. According to her interview, though. But see, also, like, this part down here where it talks about Dylan's 11:17 interview, where it says Dylan sees Xana for the last time at Allie's and Xana was holding a White Claw. Like, I don't think that they even have that accurate. But I don't know. Does she say in here? Does she say in here if Xana was at the party? Xana calls Ethan right after midnight. Yeah, see, and then it just like jumps. Okay, right here. At 12:17. Well, this is still just an interview though. It's not at the Whites. They meet up. Maddie is walking back to 11:22, holding a 6-pack of White Claws, as Dylan is walking to the Sigma Chi party, and they met up at the Whites apartment complex next to the dumpsters, like the exact same little walkway that Hunter Chapin walks up in the body cam footage of the first responder footage. That walkway right there where there's like that the trash can. They met up like right there just by happenstance. But it wasn't like at the Whites, like at a place where they were like meeting up. There was like a trash can accidental passing. Yeah, the only thing it has in here is because of Bethany's interview, and it says at 12:17, but it doesn't have Dylan's name in it. It says Bethany sees Ethan and Xana in Peter's apartment before leaving. Bethany and Yessie walked to Allie's house on Taylor, where Allie, Jenna, Hayden, Kennedy, and Yessie were the only people at the house. Does Bethany mention walking over with Dylan, or did she walk over separately? Kennedy says she never sees Xana. So, okay, so then we just know already. But see, and that's why like these handwritten reports from the cops don't mean shit either. Because how many times have we seen reports get written and then we see the body cam or hear the interview and there's like so many discrepancies. Bethany calls Jenna. Dylan calls a Sobro for a ride for her in Lake. So there's actually nothing in this. The pieces, let me put it this way. There's nothing in the pieces of the timeline that Chris Whitcomb chose to place in here that state exactly when Dylan went over to this party. Because Xana was never at Kennedy's. So this portion right here where it says Dylan sees Xana for the last time at Allie's. See right there? Is wrong. Okay. Yeah, it has Dylan at Sigma Chi and then jumps from her being at Sigma Chi to seeing Xana for the last time at Allie's, but never shows how she got from Sigma Chi to Allie's. Well, at least this part. Watch us actually get the timeline if they allow us to have it, and it actually has all that information in there, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Yes, arrived with.
Okay, so but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30, I think.
Okay, and where do you live? What's your actual address?
I live at Avenue.
Is there an apartment number to that?
No.
Okay. All right, so showed up about 10:30.
And I'll say this about this real quick. When it comes to the fact that they had to remove the car that they followed out of Pullman and they started their timeline at Indian Hills, y'all realize all they would have had to have done is gone back into that exact same footage and actually find Kohberger's car leaving. Because the car coming back into Pullman, no one is disputing that it's Kohberger's car. The defense isn't disputing it. I'm not disputing it. It doesn't have fog lights. It's coming from the direction that he's claiming he actually was. There's no reason to dispute it. When it comes back in, that has to be Kohberger's car. It makes sense. But going out, even if they have like this like 7-minute discrepancy issue or whatever, that's just 7 minutes out of hours of footage. They could have easily gone back in and found Kohberger's car. And what I think actually happened is they did. And it shows him going the direction that he said he was going, which is why they're not presenting it to the court. Did they present it to the defense? I don't know. I don't know what they actually handed over to the defense. I know that we have shit tons of hours of this footage. And I highly doubt that that's all of it, especially since it's just like that one intersection. They had all kinds of cameras. Pullman went and grabbed shit and saved stuff from campus and all over town just on the just in cases before they were even asked. Eventually they were asked. All that stuff about that Jenkins said about how, oh, they didn't want our help and it was just really strange. That kind of went away after you see all the stuff that Pullman was doing before November 27th. And I say November 27th because I'm pretty sure that's the date where Brett Payne sent out the like internal BOLO for the vehicle information. They had a whole nother vehicle's year range they were looking for before that. They were already looking for certain cars, certain body styles, and a Hyundai was not one of them. We have all that now. They could have easily gone back in and said, yeah, we screwed up. Okay, we followed the wrong car out. But after going back in on the exact same evidence files and finding the car that has to be Kohberger's, because now look at this one and look where it comes from, blah, blah, blah. This is it. They never did that. Or they did, and it's going the way he said that he went, and they can't use it because it's going to prove that they were wrong. But there's no way they couldn't have fixed that problem. They could have. They didn't for a reason. How that's not just like in Hitler's face, so easily recognizable as bullshit, I don't understand. Everything about this case is so stupid. Literally everything.
And then showed up a little bit later.
Correct.
And you said that was about 11:30, right?
Correct.
And she was with another female?
I believe so. She did not arrive alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really sure who she was with.
Okay.
Well, according to Dylan, right. She was with Gideon.
And during that time, how long were they there then?
2-3 hours.
Okay. And you said you walked them home?
Yes, I walked them like past the Whites.
Okay.
Those apartments, and then we had said our goodbyes, and I walked back to my house.
Okay.
Is she talking about walking Dylan in Lakeland? Did she just say she walked Dylan in Lakeland back to the house?
And during that time, how long were they there then?
2-3 hours.
Okay. And you said you walked them home?
Yes, I walked them like past the Whites.
Okay.
Those apartments.
What? Let me backtrack about 30 seconds so I can. It's really difficult because of all the damn redactions. Let's just start it over and I'm going to shut up.
So basically what I'm trying to do is, understanding that you were with that night?
Correct.
Okay. So what can you tell me? When did you first run into or any of the other gals or even Ethan who live in that house?
And we're at my home. They had gotten there, I think, around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m., and we're there for a few hours before we walked home.
Okay.
They had walked.
So you and were there?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And they showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to, and had come.
Okay, so it sounds like she's saying, okay, I'm trying to see if I can hear the consonant that's stated before it goes mute of who showed up first.
Before we walked home.
Okay.
They had walked.
So you and were there.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And Bethany.
And they showed up together?
No, had showed up an hour prior to.
Dylan showed up an hour prior to Bethany. With Gideon. You know, the one who wrote on her arm. Well, she got a whole dude. Easy. Interesting.
And had come. I'm not sure who she had arrived with.
Okay. So, but showed up about when?
I want to say 10:30. I think.
That's still crazy.
Okay.
Because,
and where do you live? What's your actual address?
see, I still don't know if her timing is accurate. Like, I still feel like her timing is off a little bit because people saw her at Sigma Chi. People saw Dylan at Sigma Chi. One of the reports we have even has one of the girls that saw Dylan at Sigma Chi claiming that Dylan wasn't drinking and said that she couldn't drink that night. Remember that report? So we know for a fact she did go to Sigma Chi. People saw her there. So obviously she just wasn't there for very long, but she was going all over the place and running around with that Gideon dude. That's where she met up with him is at the Sigma Chi party. And then he went with her to this one. But regardless, she did say that she remembers, Dylan says anyway, that she remembers asking if people wanted to go over to Allie's. So it seems like Dylan went with her little boy toy and they hung out for a while. And then Bethany went over there with Yessie. And I'm guessing the Claire girl, maybe? Because she calls her too. What I don't understand is why she's saying that she walked them halfway when in Dylan's story, because like in Dylan's story, she's involving two other people that could call her a liar. This girl is only saying like the one thing. So the cops are gonna have to prove that they double check several things here. Okay. Dylan's story is that Lakeland was talking to Hayden and Hayden contacted a guy to come and pick them up and take them home. Well, if Home Chick walked them to the Whites, you don't need a ride. You're right the frick there. You're 5 steps away from your damn front door. You know? So Dylan would have just involved this Hayden dude and him contacting another person that could have been contacted and then been like, oh, Dylan's a liar. She didn't, like, no one drove them home, which is totally what could have happened. But didn't Lakeland also say that they were driven? Like, Lakeland said it too. So did she half-ass walk Bethany home, maybe? And she doesn't remember? This is very confusing.
I live at Avenue.
Is there an apartment number to that?
No.
Okay. All right. So showed up about 10:30 and then showed up a little bit later?
Correct.
And you said that was about 11:30, right?
Correct.
And she was with another female?
I believe so. She did not arrive alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not really sure who she was with.
Did not arrive alone. Well, she said it
All
was
right.
Gideon.
And during that time, how long were they there then?
2-3 hours.
Okay. And you said you walked them home?
Yes, I walked them like past the Whites,
Okay.
those apartments, and then we had said our goodbyes, and I walked back to my house.
Okay. And what time was that at?
It was really late. I honestly, ballpark 2 a.m. I honestly don't know for sure.
But see, that also doesn't work because 1:33 is the timestamp that Lakeland has a picture of Dylan that got sent through Snapchat that we hear her and the cops looking at the timestamps for. So they're verifying together in the same room that timestamp's accurate. And then she's taking pictures of Ethan's floor on the clothes at 12:43. See what I mean? So is it more Bethany or is she mistaken? Like, I'm just really confused. I'm really freaking confused. This is why the timestamps on everything matter so freaking much. Like, not what they say, the data. This is all everywhere.
Okay, so you walked back to the Whites. At what point did you stop?
Like right in front of those apartments.
So you were still on Taylor Street?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't walk up with them up towards that little walkway that goes up between the Whites and the other apartments?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm not even sure like where they went after that. Just because I didn't want see what they did after that, if that makes sense.
All right, but you were on Taylor, you said goodbye, you turn around and walk back to your place.
Yes.
And did they at least start walking towards?
Yes, they walked, away from me.
Like towards that path or continuing up Taylor Street to King?
Continuing up Taylor Street.
And was there anyone else with them or was it just the two of them?
There was a group, but I'm not sure who was in that group.
Okay.
There was several people, and I didn't know all of them.
Male or female?
Female.
All female?
Yes.
How many other females do you think were with them?
3 or 4, I think. To be 100% honest, I was drunk, so.
I have a feeling a lot of people were drunk that night, so.
Yes. So this is all kind of, I'm trying my best to recall.
No, and that's all I'm expecting right now. I know that this may not all be 100% accurate, but we're just trying to get a timeline still.
Yes.
When everybody was in certain places and certain locations, and and that one of the information we got of why we should probably talk to you is whoever passed this on to us thought that you were with.
That's a good point. I do remember the undercover guy. We'll go back a second. I do remember the undercover guy claiming something about seeing a group of people walking towards the house at a certain time frame, and that like 1 or 2 of them could have been blonde, but that he didn't really remember. And of course, there's no dash cam or anything for anything that he was claiming. But this shit that she's saying still doesn't make any sense. I'm about to pull up. I have pulled up, so I'm now going to go look for if I could get an actual sentence out correctly, where Lakeland and Dylan both claim that they got a ride. Because this is like a little crazy.
Mel?
Yes.
How many other females do you think were with them?
3 or 4, I think. To be 100% honest, I was drunk, so.
I have a feeling a lot of people were drunk that night, so.
Yes. So this is all kind of, I'm trying my best to recall.
No, and that's all I'm expecting right now. I know that this may not all be 100% accurate, but we're just trying to get a timeline still.
Yes.
When everybody was in certain places and certain locations, and that, because one of the information we got of why we should probably talk to you is whoever passed this on to us thought that you were with, and I think her name's pronounced Xana. And
Yeah, Xana. I did not see Xana that evening.
Okay, and that's kind of what we were thinking, but we just needed to make sure. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you as well. But
yes, I did not see her.
Okay.
That evening.
Do you think that both were pretty drunk at the same time?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. Do you know anyone named?
I do. She was also at my home that night.
Okay. Do you know her last name?
I do not know her last name.
Okay. Do you know?
I wonder if he just asked about Lakeland. It's actually interesting that they're interviewing Kennedy before they interviewed Lakeland, and Lakeland was literally inside of 1122 that night. They didn't interview Lakeland until the 19th. Isn't that crazy?
See Xana that evening.
Okay, and that's kind of what we were thinking, but we just needed to make sure. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you as well. But
so no Xana.
Yes, I did not see her.
Okay.
That evening.
Do you think that both were pretty drunk at the same time?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. Do you know anyone named?
Yeah, that's an L.
I do. She was also at my home that night.
That was an L.
Do you know her last name?
I do not know her last name.
Okay. Do you know where she lives, or is she associated with any sorority houses or anything like that?
I believe she is her last name.
Can you spell that?
I believe.
Okay.
I can double check actually right now.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do that here in just a minute, and then you can just text me her name if you verify it or anything like that for me.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so after you guys were at the house, I'm assuming you guys are partying, drinking, things like that, you walk them back over towards their place.
Welcome.
The group continues on. You go back home, and that's the last that you saw her?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that is all I need from you. The only other thing I just want to touch up on real quick, I have your address, have your phone number. What is your middle initial? Okay.
Yeah,
and a date of birth for you?
Either that or she walked Bethany and somebody else towards the house.
Okay. And if you're heading to, and I'm assuming you have an Idaho driver's license?
Correct.
All right, perfect.
I could have sworn.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to kind of give me a little bit more information in that.
Of course.
Like I said, if you can find out name for me, her last name, and that if you could just text it to the number I called you on, I would be very appreciated.
Okay, will do.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and be safe, okay?
Okay, bye. Okay, so this is where Lakeland talks about the ride home. Right here.
So I was there with some other friends, and then, basically I was at another house party, a little bit kind of like opposite from where, they lived, and, so I was there with some other friends, and then, came over there to the house where I was, and we hung out there for a little bit, and then one of our guy friends called us a sober ride to go back to her house because we were kind of like hungry and getting tired.
Okay. So before excuse me.
See?
The house where I was, and we hung out there for a little bit, and then one of our guy friends called us a sober ride to go back to her house because we were kind of like hungry and getting tired.
See? Now I know that we've read this report too. Well, we can't really say this, Seeking Life, because if they got home before 12:43, then we don't have that time stamp. The cameras that this channel paid for starts at 12:55 because that's what they claim in the reports, that it started at 12:55 a.m. If the timestamp is accurate for Lakeland taking a picture at 12:43 a.m. of Ethan's clothes on the second floor bathroom, then that's before the cameras start. So we don't have a way to verify that if that's the true timing. Now, if it's after 12:55 and it's the time frame from before, then yeah, we could go back in and verify that. But so far, it's not really looking like that. I don't think that we would even have the timestamp. It almost feels like they cut it off right there on purpose, especially since now in some of the unsealed information, we have some of the discovery request information, and Ann Taylor is mentioning how there's stuff prior to 12:55 a.m. But we don't have that. So if we don't have that, they don't have that, because according to MPD, it doesn't exist. So it would have to be before 12:43 in order for that to work, if that timestamp's accurate. She wasn't sending them from Boise. They were sitting together in Moscow. In the report, in the second one with Lakeland. The first one, they were on the phone, and I think she was in Boise. But then the second one, they're together in the room, and they're like physically going through her phone. Because remember, she also has timestamps for her like leaving to when she actually like got home and she dropped some bagel or some shit like that. You know, Dylan wasn't drunk at all. Like, we've known that for years now. Dylan was not drunk. She was sipping on White Claws. Like, there's no alcohol in those things. And if you're somebody who's drinking every single day, like these college people do, waking up and starting with champagne, like you're drinking like light things all day, you're basically having like a level buzz throughout the day to where eventually it just like doesn't even buzz you anymore because you're just drinking the same thing. So by the time they would have gotten back, which is a whole nother reason why the timeline for all of this is so important, that it doesn't matter to me like word of mouth. Like, I want timestamps, because her word of mouth had her getting home at like 1:30. And the way that the timestamps for the photographs are showing is that they would have gotten back around like 12:40. And if you consider the fact she already was barely drinking at all, then says that there was no more drinking whatsoever by the time that they got home. And then she ate popcorn and snacked on who honestly knows what else. Okay. Even the little bit of buzz that she did have would have been more than gone by the time anything would have gone down at pretty much 4 a.m. Okay. That's 4 hours, more than 4 hours from when she left from drinking 4.5% little White Claw seltzer water. That's why her claiming that she was just so drunk and so out of it, oh my God, and they're believing it. Like, what? Don't y'all literally patrol a college town? Shouldn't y'all know how alcohol works? Especially in people that drink every freaking day. How tolerance works? Come on. And the fact that they're just believing it, it's so insane. It's so insane. Everything that Dylan has gotten away with in this whole thing is so crazy. And like, I feel like she's in between these interviews, she's like practicing, you know what I mean? Because there's no way that you speak the way that you speak when you're speaking like Dylan, and it's not like on purpose practice. And people want to think that it's because she's traumatized. No, it's not. They want to think that it's some sort of dissociative trauma response. No, the hell it's not. Because she had no reason. She had no problemo running her mouth all day the day that shit went down. People were literally telling her, shut the F up. She was repeating herself over and over again. She was making sure that certain things were repeated over and over again. She was making sure that she was in such loud hysterics that the entire neighborhood heard her echoing from 5 blocks away. She was putting on an act. And she made sure that she repeated certain things. She never shut up. She had no problem. No problem. Then all of a sudden, everything is getting downplayed. Oh, no, they didn't sound worried. Yeah, no, I was freaked out, but I wasn't worried. Girl, you sound so stupid. Like, you literally sound legitimately so dumb. Please do not have children and pass that damn stupid brain down to anybody. Please, I'm begging you. Freaking begging you. Don't do it. Don't do it. But she's out partying, going to college parties and drinking and hanging out with all these girls and hanging all over them the same way that she was in Moscow. She's not traumatized. She's out there living her best life with 6 figures in the bank for being a loser, for admitting that she knew something was wrong, for admitting that she knew Xana needed to wake up and be aware of the situation because something freaking crazy was happening, and then doing nothing. Like, she self-admitted that she's a loser. But that's what gets like put on a pedestal in this world, are the losers. The people who do the wrong things. The shit makes no sense. The shit's backwards. Hella backwards. I don't know. But I feel like this chick, this Kennedy girl, is mistaken. I really do. Like, I feel like she's just mistaken. There's no way that she walked them home. That doesn't even make sense. And I could be wrong. And yeah, I am taking it for that storyline here. But I don't know. I just feel like this girl was talked to one time and there's nothing that she can go off of. Like, it's all in her mind. She herself is claiming that she was so drunk, blah, 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 whatever. I'm gonna put in follow-up, I guess. I'm gonna see if anything gets said anywhere. Did we get Hayden's interview? Did we ever have a Hayden interview? Let me check Connor's channel and see if we ever had a Hayden interview. Like, did we ever actually hear from that guy? No. No, 2 Peytons. No Hayden. No, we never got a Hayden interview. I know. Let me see if I can just by chance find it, because I'm about to go ahead and hop off of here. I got a couple of things I've got to get done today before we go live later. I don't know if I'll be able to find it this way. Yeah, it's not pulling up like this. It's not pulling up like this. Maybe with Idaho. Because I know we read a report of somebody. taking them home. Let me see if it's in here. It might have been for Friday, though. Let me see. This is about to do. This is about a movie. That's Eric's. No, I don't see it this way. I'm gonna have to go through the reports just like one by one. Because sometimes it seems like they photographed some of these that they gave us, so it doesn't catch on to words if they're photographed in instead of it being like a true document. So I don't know. But I'm going to go in because I know that we read one. Thanks for the 2, Alora. Did anyone ever figure out Gideon's identity? Not that I know of. Good chicken gut guy, be Gideon, a nickname maybe? No, his name is something Augustus. Something Augustus. So no, I don't think so. So I don't know. I'm sure people have looked. I just don't know. I haven't really bothered. Maybe I'll go on social media later and see if I can find anything or see if anybody else has talked about it. I'm sure there's some channels that have talked about it, especially since his freaking name is written in Sharpie on her arm. You know, I don't know how I would feel. I don't know how I would feel if my girlfriend had some dude's first name written in Sharpie on her arm in body cam. That's all over, you know, the whole world sees it, you know. I wonder how Quinn feels about that. No, it's like Augustus or something like that. It's some sort of Greek name. Let me see if it's still in my saves. Or actually, we talked about it the other day. Let me look. Austin Agidius. But no, the Gideon guy, I'm pretty sure we have his last name, actually. Let me look and see if it's in here. It might not be in here. We might not have the name, the full name. I know that it says that the relationship between Gideon and Dylan's friend, or is it Bethany's friend, Claire, is that it's the same like the way that Xana and Ethan were before they got together. Like Claire is Gideon's big. No, it's not in here. Let's look at the witness list. Seen him on Bubbly's last video. Well, I'm going to look at the witness lists and see if he's on there. Because there's also an officer, Gideon. So you got to be careful not to get them mixed up. Let's see. down here somewhere. I don't want the mitigation list. Okay, phase 1. State's witness list. See if there's a Gideon. I'll share it real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay, well, I'm gonna look and see still if like there's one on the list. Derek, Allison, Sean. There's Connor, Chestnut. Gideon Roberts. Is that the one? Okay. So then I guess I'll have to look up and see if I can find something about him. Is he on the other list too? Let's see. No, not that. Defendants list. Yeah. Nope, Gideon Roberts is for ISP. So neither one of them have like a Gideon that's not work, that doesn't work for the cops. Yeah. Neither one of them has. That's the one that she has up there. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll have to look. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I'm putting a few things together and trying to just get some like stuff separated out. But I will make sure that we go live tomorrow to start going over the rest of this damn book. So that when Cyray's book gets here, we can start going over Cyray's book. I was hoping to have an answer to getting this timeline by now. By the time we got to chapter 9 where the timeline is, so that we could do a true comparison to things. But I guess we're just going to have to do it later. Because even though it really doesn't matter to the case itself, when and if we get the actual timeline that's, you know, this stuff is coming from, I would still like to go in and see what Christopher Wickham chose to cherry pick versus what he chose, or at least what, in his opinion, wasn't worthy of being printed. You know what I mean? Just because I want to see. Just because I want to see. But I will be live later so that we can go over something that I got from ISP about 15 minutes before we went live. Let's see, did he answer my question yet? Hold on. I mean, he's got a few hours. He's got a few hours. Oh, thank you, Chris. I just saw your PayPal. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, O's. Yeah, he hasn't answered me back yet. Matthew Gammett is the one who responded. Let's see. Oh, and thank you, Rochelle. I got your PayPal from yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, Paula. I've opened the wrong thing. Thank you, Paula. I'm just now looking at these. Okay, let's see. What else was there? So I requested the resubmission information the other day from Moscow, where the 1.1 swab of front strap has a resubmission check mark in the forensic reports. And there was something that was found, and I paid like $14 for the deposit on it yesterday because she only quoted me at like $28 for like whatever it is. So I'm assuming it's just like one page. It's probably just like one page. I asked her, and I should have been recording the whole thing, but I only recorded after she answered the question, and I tried to get her to answer it again, and she sort of did, but like not the same way, but you can get the concept and the context around like what it is. Okay. So you guys know how, when it comes to like the chain of custody stuff, like we've already FOIA'd stuff from the 13th to the 16th. Now this is from like something that was submitted to ISP on the 18th from Tim Smaldridge. And so we're trying to get like the additional information here, right? So you know how when it comes to like this whole chain of custody argument and how like something's obviously wrong, which yes, obviously something is wrong. I just don't really think it's the way that they're putting it out there. I think I understand what happened based on other contexts, and we'll get to that in another video, I guess. But you remember how when the fight started and Kevin Fixler talked to Turvey and did those articles, that Dollinger, the chief of Moscow police, apparently came out in a rebuttal talking to Kevin Fixler and said something about how the chain of custody isn't done handwritten anymore. It's like a barcode system. You know, when I asked Amber that on the phone, she said, as far as she knows, there's no barcode system. Like there's no electronic separate system. So as soon as she said that, I went to go start recording the call. And I like a couple seconds into like the recorded part, I tried to go back to like that question again because I was trying to get her to say it again. And she sort of like, she doubled down, but then also tried to put some like ignorance in it. Like, I really don't know, just as far as I know of or whatever. But the second she said that, I was like, I'm sorry. Because that's like the argument now. That's the argument now. The argument is there is no chain of custody problem. Everything's electronic, and the electronic system keeps the location, blah, 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 blah. She straight up just told me, because I asked her, I'm like, so is this like something that's handwritten? Is it something that's electronic? Like, is this like trying to get her to redo it, bro? Like, I'll play it. I'll play it eventually here. Maybe tonight. I'll play it tonight. But I was trying to get her to like re-say it again, but I was like, the one time I don't record from the because I had like 5 things happening. I had like my laptop open, and I was customer service on Amazon in the chat thing on the laptop. And then I had her phone like open, and I was doing something over here. For the second she said that, I was like, trying to get the camera to come on. I was like, what did you say? Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. So again, I don't know what it is that they found. But when she sent me the receipt, it like literally has like sheath chain of custody that as the subject line for the receipt that she sent me. So there's that. But as far as I'm understanding, like the sheath was already at the lab. That's why I need this information, because you already have, like, the sheath was already at the lab. There was already testing and stuff happening on the 18th when this is showing as a resubmission. And that's where I was trying to figure out, like, is this where the snap versus the strap came from? Like, did this one get sent in for something? Like, what is going on here? That's like, we're trying to figure out the problems. And every time I try to get an answer, I just end up with another problem I got to try to figure out. Because what did you say, Amber? What? And I have not heard from Anthony Dollinger. I have not heard a single freaking word from the chief of police about the 1112 information. And again, I sent an email out, sent another one from not hearing from him, and he was automatically like, it was an automatic reply the second time about him being out of office. And then I sent another one follow up the next week and still never got a response. So the new information that we just got in the unsealed documents about more information when it comes to 1112, I have to sit down like this week, no later, because I'm like getting to the last day that I can file an appeal for the 1112 stuff. So I have to sit down like within this week and hopefully by Friday send in an appeal about the 1112 information. So we've already gone through a lot of the 1112, what I call the chain of custody, in way of what came in, what was used, how did the information come in. That's how we know that the SD card was given to Gunderson, that he put it in his car, that it ended up making its way to Maori, that he couldn't do shit with it, that he went back and forth with the equipment, and that they actually did not have their own version of the footage until the 19th of November. That's how we know all of that. We already went in there and did all that work. But now we have other documents that have come out. The Latah County prosecuting attorney reports are unsealed. So now or like unredacted. So I need to go back and get those from Maori about 1112 to actually use as part of my supporting evidence for this. Like, I have to work these. It's actually really good that this is like something that I already have a lot of experience in, because this is what I do for a living. I fight your stupid, pathetic insurance companies and file appeals all day with nothing but receipts. This is what I do as a job, is prove things. That's why I'm good at this. I might not know everything, but when it comes to details, I shine. I rarely get an appeal actually be denied, because I usually am able to get all of the information for the diagnosis and the CPT codes and everything from the medical records and put it all together and send it through and get shit paid. So when it comes to appeals, this is my 18,000th rodeo, okay? It's going to be a big-ass packet of stuff. They're not going to like me at all when I'm done with this. This thing's going to be thick. Okay? I just don't know what they're like expecting us to do. Just like sit back and not question why they're lying. That's another reason why I really need the damn timeline, because the timeline has them hearing shit about the girls and the dog on that freaking camera at 2:15 when we know we're being told there's no audio. Literally in Amber's email responses to me, there's no audio. That's how the file is with them. That's their original file, that there's no audio. We also know Ann Taylor fought about there being no audio, but then we also know that that's bullshit. So getting exhibits unsealed that had that information, I really needed that about right now, because the appeal deadline's coming up. So the more, the better. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hate it so much. And you know, the biggest issue and my biggest stressor is that these American insurance companies send all your information over to India. All of these Indian citizens that work in these ginormous offices, and the same ones that are the scammers, you know, they share walls, you know, probably the same cubicle and everything. They have all your info. They have your social security number, your emergency contact information, your address, your entire bloodline, everything shipped overseas where they don't follow our rules or our laws or give a frick about HIPAA or anything else. How do you think you've got so much identity theft? Because all your information is going over to countries that don't give two shits, that don't follow our rules. Why do you think nothing gets paid? Because there's language barriers. They have to be taught basic English just to answer the phone and say hello. You think they know our terminology that we're using when we're trying to talk to them about these medical things? No, they don't. It's a joke. Insurance is a joke. The entire medical system is a damn joke. Every system. Find a system out there that actually works. Find a process that's put in place with all these different pieces that they swear is put together for the better of the people that actually does its job. I bet you can't. Don't you just get tired? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Okay. I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go for a walk. Is it sunny outside still? Let me check. Yeah. Look at that sun. What's that girl on TikTok do? Bonjour. When the sun hits her face. I'm going for a walk. I'll be back later tonight. It won't be a long live. It's a short document, but it's something very important, extremely on trend topic of everything being discussed now, new revelationary stuff. So we'll talk about it tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining, Angie. Thank you for the super stickers, Lori and Alara. Thank you for being here, Angie. And welcome, House of Dogs. Welcome. Thank you again for being in here with me for a little bit this evening. And again, I will see you guys later on tonight. See y'all. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And please don't forget to make sure that the notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives.